Good morning, everyone. Another day in the forest here in Massachusetts. Okay, Massachusetts. I do actually know how to pronounce it. Just my fun way of calling it out is the state with a lot of roots. Nice and cruisy so far. About a half a mile in. About 6:30 in the morning. 6:45 maybe. Had a little later start than I wanted. I wanted to get started at 6, but then I realized, because what I do is I upload YouTube videos every day, as you know, but I also am on Facebook, on social media, and I have daily updates on there as well that correspond, is that the right word? In other words, they go along with the videos each day, so they're coming out at the same time as the videos to connect people to the channel. And I forgot to do that for the upcoming videos, so I had to do that real quick before I started the trail this morning. But the rain looks like it's done. There might be a small chance of rain here this morning. It's supposed to be clear besides that, and then clear tomorrow. Then rain again after that, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. As of right now, it's gonna be a big day today. Big miles. Been a couple shorter days these last couple, because of the late start and then getting off with the rain. And the gut issues seem to be gone. Just so you all know what that is, I have ongoing gut issues that flare up every once in a while. Nothing I could do about it except just go through it. It's just one of those things that I have to fight through, and no need to diagnose me through YouTube. I know some people like to do that. No need. I already know what it is. I already know what my problems are. Just sometimes I have to deal with those flare-ups, and obviously kept hiking through and pushed through, but it's a little bit of an obstacle when I have to deal with that as I'm pushing through, as it's a lot of cramps and pains and nausea and such, and it makes for a really trying day, especially in the heat. So that's a lot better now. That was a lot better yesterday as well, but a lot better now. Looking forward to a nice, strong, high mileage day. Probably the highest mileage. I mean, won't know till the end of the day, but probably the highest mileage I've had in quite some time. Definitely more than a marathon today. So looking forward to getting some good miles, some great views, some summit opportunities, and just a good day of conquering. So let's get going. Let's get it done. Let's stand on top of those summits. Thank y'all for following along. Let's enjoy this beautiful nature and mountain views here coming into northern Massachusetts. Even when the trail was cruisy, it's still all roots, or a lot of roots, I should say. Not all roots, but a lot. I don't know if it really picks it up on the wide angle lens here, which is what I use a lot for the trail, so you can see it, but a lot of roots here in Massachusetts, which, is a thing. It's an obstacle. A little worse so when it's wet, because all of those are really slippery. So if I'm not sliding, I'm tripping like I just did, or I'm stubbing my toe. So you got to be really careful. Kind of slows you down a little bit, not as much as like wet rocks do, of course, but still have a pretty good pace going here today. Like I said, just slows it down a little bit, but it's a pretty cruisy trail besides that. So it's at this point. It's going to be about 4,500 feet or so or more today, depending on how far I go. As of right now, looking at probably 28, 29 before I come to a stop today. And in that amount of time, it's like 4,500 feet of elevation. So it's not bad at all for almost 30 miles. So it will remain pretty cruisy. But there's roots and rocks on part of it. So take those as they come and keep on going. But it is kind of funny how each state's a little different. And Massachusetts seems to have a lot more roots than any of the other states have had. It could all be perception, but I'm pretty sure it's not because I'm pretty observant. So when I pick something up, usually I'm picking it up, not so much opinion, but what actually is there. So I think if there were studies done, you'd probably find there's more roots per capita here in Massachusetts than the other states of the AT. Well, not including Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine, because I haven't been there yet. So I cannot compare those. But I'm going to be there soon. Be crossing into Vermont tomorrow. And then there will be 3 states left. Woohoo! Made a couple turns and came to this beautiful section of forest. Nice mossy rocks. Still the roots. A few rocks though. A little opening over there where it's lighter. And then real dark in here with the pines. Absolutely stunning. There are some beautiful forests for sure in Massachusetts. Mostly forest so far. Not a lot out in the open. Had a few meadows. But I don't know if I'll have any today or not, but I'm sure it will. Seems like almost every day, especially on a big day like today. Get a little bit more open views and so forth. I think it's 1 or 2 summits that I'll be climbing today. And then the big one tomorrow, which is Massachusetts' highest mountain, highest point, Mount Greylock. Looking forward to that one tomorrow. Putting another one on the high point list. But for now, just cruising around. I think it's Goose Pond or Upper Goose Pond here in the forest with these absolutely beautiful views. Can't stop very often, which I don't really have any need to stop, but sometimes when I'm getting the camera set up or taking a picture, I can't really do that while walking. The camera I can video, obviously, that's all live or live shots, I should say. Action shots, that's what I mean. For, what I'm doing at that moment, but taking a picture, a lot of times I stop to do that. But as soon as you stop right now, those mosquitoes are on top of every part of your body pretty quickly. So might be hitting the rappel, the DEET, a little early today. A little swampy out here after all that rain. Whew, takes a breath right out of you almost. Only up like 1,000 or 1,500 in the air, so it has nothing to do with that. Just simply the warmth and the humidity. But it sure is beautiful today. Can't complain about anything. Walking in heaven again. So grateful that I get to do this on a daily. Right over there is Upper Goose Pond. Walking along that right now for the last 1/10 of a mile or so. Hoping there's a little opening up here to be able to see better views of it. Walking right along it right now. Can't see it real well, but there might be an opening here. Here's a little bit of an opening, not much. Still beautiful and serene. Goes down there quite a ways. And goes down that way quite a ways too. Well, there's like a chimney type of thing or something. Hello, chimney. Nice to see you here today. Nice little section here. Even though covered in by trees, you can still see that water in between it of Upper Goose Pond. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And right here, nice little opening of the pine forest. I'm gonna stop here just for a second to put some DEET on because they be eating me up, these mosquitoes. My elbows. If you polled the mosquitoes today to see what part of fortune is the tastiest today, I'm thinking they're gonna say elbows. I probably got 20 bites on there already. They love the elbows. One more look at the beautiful water. Just did a little climb coming up from Upper Goose Pond. I think it levels out and maybe even goes down before climbing again for the first summit of the day, Becket Mountain. Right where the trail kind of zigzags around the pond, or actually goes with the pond and then starts going away from it. But right there, there's an intersection of a trail that goes up to a pretty cool cabin, I guess, from what I've heard. I didn't check it out. It's off trail, and obviously I don't need a cabin right now. I'm on a mission today. But met a cool cat coming out there, Thru-Hiker, called Ken Dog. Nice meeting you, Ken Dog. Nice attitude, nice personality. Kept walking as we talked for about 20 or 30 seconds. And like I said, just real nice guy. He knew me. He said, "Hiker Fortune, is that you?" Real excited, like, I'm not gonna lie, I do love it. I know sometimes, and let's just say this for the record, for those of you who have met me out here, sometimes I could be quiet, maybe even standoffish, or what appears to be. Let's just be clear, I'm not. I really appreciate meeting all of you, but I'm on a mission every day. You got to understand how many people I see on a daily basis, especially people that know me, or have seen my videos or follow me in some way, shape, or form. I love meeting you all, but I can't really stop and talk because I'm on a mission. So hopefully nobody is offended by that. If you are, I apologize that you're offended by it, but I can't do anything about it because I don't have the time to stop and talk. Not just the time, but it starts cooling the body down. It stops the momentum. And to be honest, most of the reason I do the high miles is momentum. You get moving, you don't want to stop. You get like 5 miles, or the way it works for me, 5 miles. And I'm like, all right, let's do another 5 miles before I take a break. We don't need a break yet. Let's get over another summit first. It's like I give myself those little things to push for. Obviously trying to get as many miles each day as I can. The last few weeks, I have slowed down, taken more zeros. Part of that was from my knee when it got banged up. And some of it was just simply because, I'm getting to New Hampshire and Maine earlier than what I wanted because of weather. At first, I wanted to be there around beginning to mid-June. But with the weather it is, The weather it is, the weather the way it is up there still, things aren't open, so I would have had trouble getting that done. And I'm going through the PCT after this, or that's the plan, to go finish the section up there I couldn't do in 2022 from wildfires. But I didn't want to go out there and finish that up and then have to come back for a small section here on the AT in the same year just because I got here too early. So just being smart about it. I've been hiking with someone for the last couple weeks, so slowed down to enjoy that company. And I'll talk about that more later on and so forth, but just a couple different reasons, slowed down over the last few weeks. But now it's business time. It's time to get down to those high mileage days and finish this puppy up as quick as I can. Not racing through it. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I take more in on this trail than anyone I know. I live for the mountains. I live for the trail. I live for the symbolicness of nature and beauty. And no matter what it's looking like, no matter what the weather is, no matter what the terrain is, I'm taking it in all its beauty. So me going fast doesn't mean I'm going fast per se, as much as it means I'm hiking very long days to get the most amount of miles that I can, which means I'm actually taking a lot more of it in because I'm seeing a lot more of it every day and still enjoying every view, every mountain summit. I do more side trails than anybody I know because I'm all about summiting those mountains and putting them in the bag. Those of you who followed me know this about me. But a couple of reasons I slowed down. It wasn't for anything bad. I'm not injured. I haven't been injured at all. Banged up my knee one time. Took a couple days for that. Obviously took a couple days for my birthday. Do some shorter days. Not because I have to, but because I chose to. So those of you who got used to me doing really long miles, trust me, there's a lot more long mile days coming up. And gonna enjoy the heck out of everything I'm doing every single day. And hopefully showing you all the great views along the way. Now I'm descending, so I went up something, but it wasn't a mountain, or it might have been the edge of a mountain or something. But then I'll go back down here, like I said, before I start going up Becket Mountain. So anyway, that was a lot of rabbit holes, but Ken Dog was a cool guy. And I got to say hi to him, and we talked a little bit about fly season up in Maine. Getting ready for that if it hasn't already started. So probably by the time I get there, it won't be quite as bad. But there'll be definitely a lot of bugs in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. There's already quite a few here in Massachusetts with that swampy air. But I digress after all my rabbit holes. Big days are coming, my friends. Big days are coming. Big miles, big elevation, big in the bag moments, big milestones. It's just going to keep coming and coming and coming. Keep conquering and conquering and conquering. It's been a great, 104 days or something like that so far. And probably going to be done in the next 30 to 40 days, I'm guessing. Maybe less if I really get a burr on my butt, so to speak. I might just cruise 30 miles a day from here on out. I don't know. Figure that out as I go. But for now, just going to keep on conquering. All right. Again, thank you all for following along. And I look forward to seeing you and meeting you out here, some of you. Just know that when I keep going, it's nothing personal. It's just fortune is always on a mission. there's the beginning, or the northern side of the Berkshires. Berkshires is the largest county and area in like mountains, valleys, or whatever, you know, if you want to call it. But I think it's just basically the largest county of Massachusetts, where basically been walking through ever since, been on the AT here in Massachusetts. Beautiful views here. Nice little pond. Beautiful. Wow, that is gorgeous. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Wow. Whew, it is steamy out here. All right. Woo! Standing on the summit of Becket Mountain, all socked in with trees. Up here is the sign showing the summit with the register, and right here is the remnants of an old fire tower. Wasn't a bad climb at all, but very steamy and very hot. But the first summit of the day, Becket Mountain, is in the bag. Trail wraps around another pond here called Finnerty or Finerty. I'm not sure which. I'm guessing Finnerty Pond. You can see a little bit through here. I don't know if there's going to be any openings or not, but it wraps around for quite some time here in the woods. funny, you get around the pond where you would think it's a little cruisier, and it's actually a little more up and down roots and rocks than what it has been for the last mile or so. Just never know what the trail's gonna give. Just gotta take it as it comes. If Fortune falls in the forest when no one's around, does he make a noise? The answer, my friends, is yes. He makes a noise. I'm sure you want the story to go along with that. I was moving quite slowly on Cruisy Trail with some roots, because that's the name of the game here in Massachusetts. But I was moving quite slowly, and the reason I know I was moving quite slowly is because I was eating. Whenever I'm eating while I'm walking, I walk very slowly because I'm chewing, and all my focus goes to that. Oh my goodness. But it was somewhat cruisy trail, but a lot of leaves, and the leaves were covering a branch. And this just goes to show that anything can happen anytime. You could fall off your couch, you could fall off your recliner, you could fall in a bathtub. Obviously, we can't live in fear. Not saying that to make you have fear, but you could fall at any time. And this one actually was not a bad fall, but it gave me a little wake-up call. I'm not going to lie about that. I was there eating and had just finished my beef stick that I was eating at that moment. And all of a sudden, walking, looking at the ground, paying attention. It's not like I wasn't paying attention. And sorry, walking over some soggy rocks and branches here, so taking my time. I don't want to fall on camera. I do enough of that. Actually, I usually catch myself, so I don't fall too many times on camera. Actually, I don't fall too many times. I think it's a total of like 4 or 5, maybe 6, like the whole time I've been out here this year, which is more than usual, to be honest. But they've all been graceful falls for the most part, except the one that banged up my knee pretty good. This one was pretty graceful, but I went all the way down, and it was simply, I was walking along and my foot got caught in a branch underneath the leaves that I didn't see there. And when I tried to catch myself, it wasn't happening. And I just went down gracefully, knee first. Ooh, that is a deep little marsh right there. Nice soggy ground, you gotta love it. But I just went down like knee first, or face first. I didn't hit my face or head, but went forwards. There we go, that's a better way to say it. I went forwards. Good grief. Sometimes I have such a hard time trying to say what I'm wanting to say, especially when I'm walking. Especially when I'm walking in mush. It's like soggy cereal here, except it's clear and not milky. Anyway, back to the story. I fell, didn't hurt anything, fell on pretty soft ground. The thing is my head landed about 2 inches from a tree. That was the wake-up call. I'm like, oh my goodness, that just shows anytime you could fall, just be in the wrong place, hit your head on something. Not much you could do to stop it because I was moving slowly, so I fell slowly. I looked like a tree going timber. Just boom. Probably quite funny to look at, but after I sat there for a second getting up, I'm like, wow, my head was pretty darn close to this tree here. It's a good thing that where I fell there and not an inch or two forward. So anyway, I'm good. Everybody's good. No pain, no injuries, no blood that I know of. Might have had a scrape or something underneath some clothing that I don't know about, but all good. I just thought I'd share that story with you. And I did go, ooh. So Fortune does make a noise when he falls when no one's around. Ooh. Just remember that. Ooh. Sometimes you just have to stop and take a look at the beautiful forest that you're in. Nice gentle breeze coming through right now. Absolutely stunning forest. All kinds of trees, pine, oaks, whatever else has leaves on it. Ferns, beautiful vegetation everywhere. Probably about 70 degrees out right now. Sun shining through where it can. Besides that, pretty socked in. Absolutely stunning.